but, I feel like we digress slightly.
I'm convinced you live on a farm, Steve. The
I'm
amount of stuff you have going on in your backyard. I've been to your house. I've seen it. I know it is in fact not a farm, but I'm convinced you live on a farm.
I so we live near a lot of farms, and like you drive by just like random houses and it says like blah 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 farm on the front, like all the time. And I joked about, I was like, could we just like put like a fake, like, come up with like a whimsical farm name, and it's just because we grow so much stuff, because that is honestly the end goal. I have like a 4-year plan of the amount of stuff I want to plant and actually have a full mini farm going. The goal is to be like almost self-sustainable, at least in the summer months here.
I
But
think that if you give your house a farm name, people will just start showing up at your house expecting to be able to pick things.
yeah, I'd have to put it far up the
And you should let
driveway.
them. You'd have to move the car up. If people start showing up at your house expecting to like pint mint and berries and stuff, you just need to let them come into your house and pick those berries and then charge them $40.
That is fair. I mean, I've got
Right?
enough. I've got 4 different fruit trees now. I got 10 blueberry bushes. I got like 20 raspberry bushes. I got the blackberries in. I got a lot of fruit going this year.
And I'm just happy to have a little bit of an herb garden in the back of my apartment building,
I bought
which is a
some.
house. It's an apartment house. It's like it's a duplex, but
I got
still not quite.
some really good raised planters for the deck that I can highly recommend. That I put all of our mint and herbs in, and they took off. Just a thought. They don't take up much deck room. I think they would fit on yours, and they can fit a lot. Like I have
Okay.
like 5 or 6 things in each of them, and they're huge. I feel like we're digressing at this point.
So that's you becoming friends with your monster. It's just like, oh, these things aren't even chores anymore because they're part of what I do. Like it's not a monster anymore. I don't need to, I don't have to wrestle with doing the dishes. I can make doing the dishes work for me. That's
Exactly,
it's
and
a
that's
lot
kind of the
like doing the grocery shopping, like doing the grocery shopping, typically that's one, me or my wife will go and the other one will stay here with our daughter. Like doing the grocery shopping becomes a great opportunity to like I'm just gonna go be by myself for an hour.
yes. I did.
What was once a chore is now my relaxation.
I did 100% of the grocery shopping during COVID. Like in
Mhm.
2020, I did all the grocery shopping because we weren't bringing the baby into the store.
No, of course not.
And he's a little older now, and we're all vaccinated now because the Pfizer vaccine's awesome in that breastfeeding mothers pass on the antibodies to their kids.
Oh, that's true. You
Yep.
told me about that.
So I have noticed that first of all, I really enjoyed grocery shopping solo. I enjoy it now that my wife's there too. They're very different experiences. But I would just put my headphones in and I would just go do it. And I would just have like 30 minutes where I was just in this other world, like listening to music or listening to a podcast and walking around. And I have noticed, and I love having my wife back, but I used to go in, get what was on the list, and get out. And our impulse buys, now that we're both there, because we're bad influences on each other, have skyrocketed.
Because you can talk each other into doing those things. I totally get it. It's like I have a list. I need to just get what's on the list. I'm not going to question it, and I'm going to get in. I'm going to get out. And now it's just like, well, do you want to try these peanut butter filled pretzels? I was
Yeah.
like, well, I'll try the peanut butter filled pretzels if you want to try them. And then you end up with a big box of them.
Yes. Yes. And after a year of not doing that, like, I feel like we're like, how long has this been here? Should we live kind of in the boonies. So, like, we don't have the most well stocked store. So, like, when there's a
Mhm.
new fun item, we're like, well, I mean, we have to buy it. Otherwise, they might not get it back next week. Like, if it's not moving off the shelves, we need to encourage this, right? And like, I didn't have these conversations when I was shopping solo. I was just like, oh, hope that's still there in 6 months.
I think that's the mentality that has led to the just sheer variety of Oreo flavors.
Oh my god. I
I
don't
think that's
know.
what they're doing.
We're getting off topic here, but do you know who Brennan Lee Mulligan is?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, well, he's from College Humor. He's one
Hmm.
of the heads of College Humor. He actually runs their D&D show, which I think you would really enjoy. But
Oh, I should check it out.
he also has a whole series whenever there it used to just be whenever there was like a scandal. He would be like during the Tide Pod scandal, he'd be like, "Hi, I'm Todd Everyman, CEO of Tide, and I'm here not to tell you to eat pods." And like it would just be him getting more and more frustrated, like as like more information came in. And so they did one I saw the other day where he was the CEO of Oreos, and they were like, "We've got 10 new flavors," and he just had this meltdown. He's like, "Why? We're basically printing money. We are Oreos. We don't need to do anything else. Can we just go home? Let's just go home." We're done. We made the best cookie ever. Why do we have 10 new flavors every 3 months? It
The
is worth your time.
no, I want to check that out. I think the absolute pinnacle of we've done too many things with Oreo is when they came out with cookies and cream Oreos.
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
well, like we've passed. It's like we've crossed the Rubicon here. There's no. It's like this is an Oreo flavored Oreo. That doesn't make any sense.
They actually cover that in the sketch. I think that's like
Oh,
his
they
break.
do.
I think that's his breaking point. Like,
You
but
know what
yeah.
also really made me this? What else was really annoying? I don't know. I want to check the sketch out to see if they talk about this. They did s'more flavored Oreos, but they didn't call
Yes.
them s'moreos.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I had like a
What was that
minor
about?
meltdown to my wife. I was like, "What? Why aren't these called s'moreos? This is the perfect opportunity. How could this make it past marketing without becoming a s'moreo?"
There must have been like a huge argument internally because there's no way it got that far without somebody like fighting for it, and there had to have been like there has to be some reason they absolutely positively could not call them s'moreos because how could you bring that how could you bring that product to market and calling it s'more Oreos instead of s'moreos? It boggles the mind. It's maddening.
It To me, the only explanation has to be when, and it doesn't fully make sense because I think s'mores are like strictly an American thing for the most part.
Hmm.
It almost seems like another like non-American team was in charge of this one, and like
Mm.
S'moreo wouldn't have been what came out like verbally.
Oh, okay. So like it's one of those things where it's like it was just lost in translation.
Yes, like in English that is obvious, but say they were speaking Spanish or French, that's not a logical conclusion.
Oh, maybe. Sure. Okay, I can give you that. I was thinking like maybe like because Smorio is not Oreo, somebody was previously able to trademark it and they didn't want to
Maybe.
have a legal battle. Like it's just like did somebody else already own the word Smorio and you just legally could not call them Smorios?
I don't I
So
don't
that has a
know.
lot to do with Bathtub Monster.
This is why we are the two perfect people to do a podcast together because we have the same strong opinions about S'moreos.
I'm so mad about I saw it, I was like, I got mad about it.
I
Like I
get
don't know
mad every
why I had
time.
anger in me for it.
Every time I go to the food store and I see them, I get mad. I got mad yesterday when I saw them.
Yeah, and it's like I'll accept all sort of other I've tried the birthday cake Oreo. Like obviously I'm a fan of the chocolate covered Oreos. I mean because who like yeah, who isn't? I like the golden Oreos. There's so many different Oreos I like. I don't buy them. Because if I buy a box of Oreos, like it's gone in a day. Like I eat them way too quickly. Even like and then You try to feel better, but do like the Oreo thins where there's like thinner cookies and less cream. It's like, no, I'm just going to eat more of these cookies. If I eat two of them, it didn't make a difference. I should have just had the one. So I don't get them, but I'm so fascinated by the Oreo flavors.
I get the peanut butter ones because they taste like my favorite Girl Scout cookie, but they're a lot cheaper and I get twice as many of them. Is it
My friend in
tagalongs?
Tagalongs,
Yeah,
are
tagalongs are
those the peanut?
the peanut butter Girl Scout cookies. They basically taste like tagalongs, but you know,
Because that's what I mean. Isn't that what a tagalong? Because isn't that what it is? It's like cookie and then like the
it's
peanut butter
cookie
filling.
chocolate peanut butter.
Oh, okay. So I mean, sure, of course it's. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah. And
Friend of
mint
mine
Oreos,
in
same thing.
Texas. Oh yeah, mint Oreos.
Yeah, they're basically just thin mints.
Oh, that's true. Sometimes they like, there's different companies that put out like knockoff versions of the Girl Scout cookies. Because I think Keebler Elves put out some version of a Samoa, or where I live, they call them caramel delights. But from Jersey, growing up in Jersey, they were Samoas. They put out like a fake version of the Samoa. It was the same thing. It was the cookie, then the coconut, then the caramel topping, and then the chocolate. And that was another thing that just made me like angry. I'm like, no, you don't hone in on the Girl Scouts territory, Keebler elves. That is straight up rude.
Yeah. Yeah, I've also found if you really like grasshoppers slash thin mints regionally depending, uh, Tim Tams mint flavor tastes exactly like a mint Girl Scout cookie. Tim
Tim
Tams
Tams, I'm
are
not
the
familiar.
they are the number one biscuit of Australia.
Oh my, where do you find them? Do they have them in like, is there like a Australian section of your supermarket?
Yeah, they were in the world section actually. They actually no longer carry them because of COVID, and it is absolutely devastating.
Oh,
But they were very good. Normal Tim Tams are okay, but the mint Tim Tams were very good, and they're basically just thin mints. Year round, you can get them.
this virus took away so much from us. See,
I know. That's what I said. I said it to my wife in the food store yesterday. I was like, "Oh, we lost Tim Tams to COVID. What else is it gonna take from us?" And some
oh my
lady looked
goodness.
very angrily at me, and we ran because that's what we
Well, I
do. We're
mean,
just giant children,
you need to have some humor about
right?
the absolute mess the world has been the last year and a half.
But yeah, the
I
beast
want to
in the
go get some
bathtub.
cookies.